In England, especially back in the day, it was mainly really angry men that were coming to the games, and they were violent in the things that were said behind you as a goalkeeper. You're thinking, really? When you're in Turkey and things are getting thrown at you, if you react or you pick a coin up and throw it back, it just gets worse.
Do you remember any of the things that were said to you by fans?
I used to like to have banter with the fans, and I would if they would say something, I might say something back to them. I got hit with something on the shoulder, and it was a brown bag, and it was wet, and it had split apart, and it was feces in it.
Good shot.
Good throw, good aim. Mexican and Costa Rican fans are good. They're violent, and they're intimidating. They make it really, really difficult to deal with the elements. Those are intimidating places. See, in England, there aren't any intimidating places. The American fans are not highly educated in football. Americans will go in there and they'll fold their arms and they'll be like, I'm not being entertained. I think I should have my money back. The biggest thing I think the American fans come away with is it means so much to these fans from the other country.
Yeah.
And Americans are not built like that. Social media destroys players. Fans should understand what that does to a player. It's like a different element of mental strength that you had to deal with that I never had to, which I'm thankful for.
Hello, I'm Matt Forde and from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup. I'm speaking to the great and good from the world of football to find out what it takes to win the greatest prize on earth. No, not a lifetime supply of cream eggs, the World Cup. Today we're talking about the role of us, the fans. We've got two superb guests today, former USA goalkeeper Brad Friedel and part-time comedian, full-time goalkeeper, sorry, the other way around, it's Lloyd Griffith.
Thank you.
Lloyd, you do like to play in goal?
I do like to play in goal. Like it's harder as you get older, but I do love it. I just love throwing myself around. I think it's because as comedians we like the limelight, don't we? As a goalkeeper, the limelight's on you.
But you're very good at it.
Well, not professionally.
But when we've played, you're above average.
I mean, yeah, above average for my height.
You could have played non-league.
I could have. Like lower.
But really good. Like,
lower
usually modest.
I'm lower non-league. Like no, I mean, yeah, no. I think I could have played like amateur level.
But that's higher than most.
Yeah,
we'll ever get.
Maybe, but like I think the problem I had was that I started growing out and not up when I got to like 15, 16 years old, and that's the only reason that stopped me.
Yeah, I mean that is in your control.
No, it wasn't. No.
Glandular.
Glandular, medical, parental.
Yeah, it's your mum's fault.
They'll feed me.
You are active.
I am active. Yeah, no, I think you try and be active. We have comedians football play on a Tuesday afternoon. Get to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, just in case I get that call up at the age of 42. You never know, do you?
I think every bloke still dreams that on some level it will fall to them.
Do you know what? I'm so deluded that like when I go to Grimsby games, like if we go there and go, oh, like Seb Orton, our reserve keeper, gets like pull something, I'm going, David Artell's got my number. I reckon he might be like, Lloyd, I fancy you sit on the bench. You know what I mean? Just joker. Do you know what I mean? Just help warm up the lads beforehand. And I think I do a great job.
Almost like on a flight when they say, is there a doctor in the house?
Exactly.
Or on the plane.
Yeah.
A fan, if they say, look, is there anyone, doesn't matter, on your physique?
Yeah.
Is there a reserve goalkeeper in the stadium?
Yeah.
Do you take your gloves to games just in case?
No, I keep them in the car. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want to go in there, that looks too keen. But if the tannoy goes, I'm straight into the Skoda.
So let's talk about fans.
Yep.
As a fan, what sort of impact do you think we have?
Huge impact. I mean, in the stadium, definitely. A huge impact. And
it's hard to have an impact outside of the stadium.
I think it's quite hard unless you've got a tannoy.
Yeah.
Or you're flying one of those planes, you know what I mean? But I think in the stadium, a huge impact. I mean, like, I think they can have an impact on the referees.
Do you really think?
Oh, 100%. I mean, if you get into the referee's head, I mean, the referee's thinking things that they think, oh, maybe I should give it to them.
But aren't referees contrary? If the crowd gets on their back, aren't they more likely to rebel?
No. They say that. But I think actually, you know what I mean, if you start shouting off, they're more likely to give a red card. I also think that, having a home advantage is a huge thing. the noise of a stadium. So I went to Grimsby Town versus Bristol Rovers the other day, and the Bristol Rovers fans, big games, you know what I mean? Like, it was standing room, well, I say it was standing room only, they actually had seats, but they were so loud. They were so loud, and it made such a, you know, and Bristol Rovers won.
What sort of fan are you? Are you a positive fan or a negative fan?
I'm a positive fan, very, very much glass half full. Okay. Very much a glass half full kind of fan, and I'll stay. I'll never leave before the end of the 90 minutes.
That's good.
Never leave. Apart from one where I had a gig.
Okay, so sometimes leave.
But I had a letter.
So if it's work, it's different.
If it's work, it's different, I think, yeah. So yeah, I'm a very positive fan.
Do you ever boo your own team?
No, never boo my own team. Boo the ref. Boo the away team, but never boo a home team.
Do you ever engage in any of that stuff with the away fans?
When you've got like a bit of a profile, and that's what I'm calling what I've got, is like a bit of a profile. You know, I don't even think you can do the gestures, because then people are like, it's that little fat bloke from the thing. Why is he doing that? And then the next thing you know, you're viral on Snapchat for the wrong reasons.
So we're here at the Redwood Sports Bar at London Bridge. Mm-hmm. Do you enjoy watching games in the pub?
As long as I'm not with you.
What?
There was that one England game.
Oh, what? Don't.
Can you not remember? Central London, we were there. There was me, you, Beckett, I think Whittaker, maybe Josh.
O'Neill's, I think.
It was O'Neill's.
Wardour Street.
In Wardour Street. And my sister was there. And my sister, I think, still has PTSD because you shouted England for the whole 96 minutes.
That just can't be true.
It was 100% true. Ask any of those comedians, ask my sister, you go, England, England, for the whole 90 minutes, which is lovely. That's a lovely thing to do. But you were just so passionate, and my sister was like, is this the whole, I think it is for the whole game, yeah. But no, I do like watching games with you, but just not when you're shouting England for the whole 96 minutes.
I just get so emotionally invested in it.
You do.
And also from the pub, I can't have an impact on what's happening in the game.
No, but it's vibes, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? That I felt it.
When you watch it in the pub, do you sometimes think it's better to watch it in the pub than be there, or is it always better to be there?
Personally, I think it's always better to be there. For games that you're invested in, for games that I'm not invested in, like I quite a lot watching Premier League games in the pub because I don't have a Premier League team.
When it's not your team?
Well, it's not my team, I think, but like, in the pub, it's fun, it's nice, but I love being there, and I try to get to games as often as I can do.
But with the World Cup, if it doesn't go well, it's nice to just be able to waddle home rather than schlep all the way back from South America.
I do waddle, do you know what I mean? I do waddle.
I said that about both of us, it wasn't just on you. I'm a waddler.
There was the semi-final in Russia where we got...
Croatia.
Yeah, we got beat by Croatia.
Tricks!
It was...
Did you go to that?
Yeah, I was there, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You went to Russia?
Yeah, I went to Russia.
Maniac.
Yeah, but I'm hard.
They
were scared of me.
There was no way I was going to that. I was terrified.
I mean, I should caveat this. I was being paid out there with a brand partnership, but I was going out there and I was buying tickets for games that we weren't going to as a brand. So I went to the Croatia game with a mate, and that walk back to the hotel was not only very scary but very lonely. And it's like, oh yeah. And I had to stay for the final because we were working for the final as well. It's like, here's what could have happened. So yeah, I think that those walk backs, like the final against Italy.
Oh man.
Oh, that took me an hour and 40 minutes to get back from Wembley to Battersea, where I live. A series of line bikes, walking, taxi, and it was absolutely pouring it down with rain. So those journeys back are awful, but it does, you live for those moments that make it a skip home, don't you?
What about us as a collective? Do you think England fans get a bad rap?
Yeah, they get a bad rep, but I think they're behaving better. I think the 90s, the 2000s were, their naughty years, but I think now they've got other interests. They've got
naughty years.
The naughties.
Oh, I thought you said they were the naughty years.
Well, they kind of were. It was a bit of both. Like, they were the naughties, but also like the naughty, because they were being naughty because they were throwing seats and stuff. But
plastic garden furniture.
Oh, lovely.
Cans.
I mean, have you got a lovely little European square? We'll ruin it for you.
What makes me sad is there is like a hardcore that ruin it. The vast majority would say it'll be fine.
There's a group of lads that I go and watch England games with, and they're lovely. Never get into any trouble, because if they get into any trouble, they can never go again. They love going to games, so they'll go absolutely anywhere. And so the games that I go to, I like hang around with them and knock about with them, and they're lovely. And what's really nice is there's a community within the England group. So, there might be rivalry within the Midlands, or the North East, and then you kind of see each other. It's like,
it's hot banter that really...
But they're all wearing the three lions, and it kind of, it goes.
So unified.
It's unified.
What about compared to like other fan bases like South American fans? Could we learn something from them?
I mean, to a point, yeah, South American fans are fantastic, but also, like, I don't want to get into trouble here, it's a little bit lawless in South America. And that is speaking to someone that is going to South America in November to watch a couple of games. But I think, they take things into their own hands there, whereas, we are still police to a certain point. So I think, yeah, we can learn something from their spirit and from their carnival kind of attitude.
Do you think we could do that? Do you think, because the England band is a different thing?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the England band?
I don't mind the England band. I think the more instruments, the better.
Okay, so an orchestra.
An orchestra, do you know what I mean? They've got trumpets, they've got...
We don't have a string section. That's
There's
what
no
we're
string
missing.
section. Do you know what I mean? I think a couple of desks and violins, maybe an oboe.
Brad Friedel is our guest today, an iconic goalkeeper. As a fellow goalkeeper, are you going to be sort of asking him for tips?
Well, not asking for tips. I think we'll be sharing stories more than anything.
As colleagues, as equals.
As equals, you know what I mean? But I have to say, growing up in the Premier League era, this is a proper Barclays man. I'm very, very excited.
Well, enough of this jingoism. It's time to welcome our special guest. He's been to 3 World Cups. It's Brad Friedel.
Scotland get battered everywhere they go. Scotland get battered everywhere they go. Everywhere they go.
Yeah, last night we met one of the Sheikh's sons and he took us back to the palace and he showed us he had lions and everything.
To win it, yeah, it mean everything. It mean everything as a fan. And to any chap out there struggling, just remember there's always somebody to talk to, always. So come on Southgate, bring it home and let's have a party.
Obviously on a bit of a hunt for some beers and he was like, yeah, we saw beers. So we jumped into the back of his Toyota Land Cruiser, ended up at a big palace and we were in the back. He showed us his monkeys, his exotic birds.
Brad, welcome to the UK. Last time we spoke to you, you were in the
I
Bahamas.
was in the Bahamas, yeah. Be back there on Sunday.
Now you're in a pub in England.
I'm in a pub in England talking about Grimsby and a fan who goes to matches thinking he's going to get a game. It's the first fan I've met like that.
You're kidding.
That thinks they're going to get a game, want to get a game. He thinks he's going to get a game. That's what I took from your conversation.
Good mentality.
Positive. Glasses half full.
Glasses up.
I was
Look at
listening.
that. 3/4 full.
Brad, obviously you're a highly decorated former professional footballer.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever go to games just as a fan?
No, not really. I have. This is a true story. This will be tomorrow. I'm going to go to Anfield, and it'll be the first time that I've been to Anfield. I'm a Liverpool supporter. First time ever, just as a fan, to watch a game. First time. I'm not working. I was either playing or working every time I've been to Anfield. This is the very first time.
Any football match?
No, but but being a Liverpool supporter from the age of 10, this is the very first time I've ever gone to Anfield to watch a game with no work to do, just turn up, have a couple of drinks, watch the game, and leave.
Oh my God.
First time.
Do you think you're going to get emotional?
No, but I'll enjoy the game. Yeah.
Why Liverpool?
So there's no professional league when I was growing up. I'm a lot older than you guys. And so my dad did some business in London every now and again. We took a family trip, and when he was over here, a friend of his got tickets to a Charity Shield match. It was Liverpool-West Ham. We got tickets in Liverpool, and they were brilliant. I was playing as a recreation football in America. We went. It was brilliant. The fans, the support, everything. And I left the stadium being a Liverpool supporter. We didn't have, but in Cleveland, Ohio, we had Soccer Digest once a week that we could flip through. We had Soccer America that was sort of coming out, but even later than that. But then the only 2 teams that were ever televised in Cleveland was Bayern Munich and Liverpool. And that's because they were both brilliant. But only for you'd get 20-minute snippets. And I don't even know, it was Wild World of Sports or something like that. And I wouldn't play the whole game. But it was Liverpool. So I grew up watching Clem, and then it morphed into Grobbelaar. Grobbelaar is probably the opposite of my style, but still brilliant to watch them play. And Liverpool teams were incredible. So you can imagine the first couple of managers that wanted to sign me, Graham Souness, Kevin Keegan. I met Kenny Dalglish, I know him quite well. And if these were the guys that I grew up watching, but from afar. And that's how I became a Liverpool supporter.
And did you ever play American sports? Did you ever play NFL or baseball? Or
Yeah. I got college scholarship offers for tennis, basketball, and ice hockey. I only got one scholarship offer for playing soccer. That was it, and that was out of luck. Yeah, 'cause we didn't have. You're talking about all these people carve out pathways in the academy and stuff. My pathway is just like flip your coin. I was at some tournament. The assistant coach saw me playing, and the rest is sort of history. I thought I was going to sign for a basketball scholarship. Like that's the path I was leading.
Wow.
So you're one of those guys that's just good at all sports.
I was supposed baseball I wasn't brilliant at, but that's probably because I didn't love it. But yeah, I was probably decent at most sports.
Man, because I often think that, like Johnny Bairstow could have played for Leeds and he ends up playing cricket for England instead, that if you're good at sport, it's a transferable skill.
I would say this about goalkeepers, most outfield players as well, but goalkeepers for sure. Every number 1, 2, and 3 that I ever played with in my professional career, all brilliant athletes, really top-level athletes. I always say when the young coaches are assessing young talent and, they're at 11 years old, they're picking the goalkeeper that can play the ball out of the back. It's irrelevant to me. You have to be an athlete and you have to be brave. If you're not either of those two, you can't be a professional goalkeeper. If you're brave and you're an athlete, you can teach that person to do anything.
Lloyd is a goalkeeper.
And I can see he's brave.
He's definitely very brave.
So have you got the goalkeeping finger as well?
Oh my, yeah. This one was out there. This one was out there.
I've got that as well.
This one. But I've also I broke this one in the growth plate, so
Oh wow!
my thumb doesn't.
So the ball fell on the end of my finger, and I just didn't get it reset. So it just.
Yeah, the worst one is when
off.
you play on dry pitches and or a plastic pitch and it goes in and then that like sticks out and you got to get it back in quick.
Yeah, it's the price we have to pay.
I think I'd just rather be a fan. These are the times that I adore footballers. I look up to them and I think anyone who's played professional football is a god. Then I hear about the reality of it. I think it's actually quite nice just to watch it with a pint.
I don't know, like when you're playing and the adrenaline's going, like, and you like pop your finger in a game, as long as you can like put it back into place quickly or tape it, then the pain doesn't come until really the next morning or later on in the evening. So it's not that big deal with shit.
But was there ever a moment where you're in goal and you look at the fans and going, "Oh, that looks quite nice." I mean, they're having a nice little pint watching me in the sun.
Well, like in international football, with fans, it's different. 'Cause the game tends to be a little bit slower. And when I was playing, we were in CONCACAF region, and we played a lot in Central America, Mexico, South America, and not everywhere in the world do both men and women go to games. And if you go like to Colombia, for instance, there's like beautiful women in the stadium in the game, especially if it's a friendly and you're the goalkeeper, the ball's not in front of you, you're like looking around. And I mean, and in England, especially back in the day, it was mainly really angry men that were coming to the games and they were violent in the things that were said behind you as a goalkeeper. You're thinking, really? You're going to put on your collar and tie on Monday, and you're saying that, and so it's like a little bit different. But I would say the violence also gets a bit bigger in those types of countries, and in Turkey, like it's a big shift from the party scene to the violence.
But it sounds like the most distracting thing is having beautiful women in the crowd. So is that something England needs to think about? A more diverse fan base, and we all need to glam up a bit?
Well, no, I think now it's a lot more diverse in England than it did by the time I retired. It became much more of and everybody can go to a game. But if you go back to the early '90s, it wasn't that way.
And I guess actually combine the both and have glamorous, aggressive women that are distracting.
That's the next phase.
Distracting and intimidating.
That's another generation. It's another decade. You'll get there.
Do you remember any of the things that were said to you by fans?
When I was playing with Liverpool and then I recently moved to Blackburn, the first time I was back to Goodison, a couple of things were said that shouldn't have been said. Like, I'm not going to repeat it, but like about my mom and and the stewards were there, and the great thing about Liverpool's a brilliant place, really, it really is, and a lot of the stewards and the security just from around the city and things like that, And I remember the steward was there, and I used to like to have banter with the fans. And I would like, if they would say something, I might say something back to them. And I was always friendly with them. And I looked down at the steward, and we recognized each other just from the football, from the times I went. And he just went, "Sorry, lad." Like, he was like, it's like, even he was like, that's over the top. Playing Burnley away, and I felt I got hit with something on the shoulder. The game's going on, and then I like looked down, and it was a brown bag, and it was wet, and it had split apart, and it was feces in it. And this is Blackburn, and I'm just hoping it was dog feces. I mean, if there's an actual adult human being that did that, then that's, I mean,
Planned it, went through with it.
yeah, and then threw it at me, and I was like,
Good shot.
yeah, and then I like kicked it. Yeah, good throw, good aim. I was just like, and so after the game, the goalkeeping coach, it was Roy Tunks, and he was like, "What hit you?" And I was like, "I'm pretty sure it was a bag of feces." I said, "That's what I'm pretty sure of." In Turkey, I nearly got hit with like a lawn dart when I played with Galatasaray. We were in a Turkish Cup final. It was two-legged, so we were playing at Fenerbahce's ground, and it was back when they had the cages around the stadium. And I heard something. As I tell the story, it was right there. It was probably 15 feet away from me, but I did hear something. I was getting ready to hit a goal kick. And when you're in Turkey and things are getting thrown at you, if you react or you pick a coin up and throw it back, it just gets worse. Yeah. So I just kind of ignored it. So I didn't even look back. After about 2 or 3 minutes, I like turned around to see, and it was like a lawn dart. That thing hit someone, they're out. I mean, it was like this long, and stick it in the ground.
Like a javelin?
Yeah, it was, and Graham Souness was the manager, and he was like, "What was that?" I was like, "I'm pretty sure it was a dart."
And do you think they're throwing it near you, or do you think they're genuinely trying to hit you with a dart?
At Fenerbahce Galatasaray,
Yeah.
100% trying to hit me with the dart. 100%. Not even I'm not even going to go 99.99.
That must affect you, your concentration.
No, I think, but just built different. No, it didn't. We got a big brawl, like the players not, but the fans and everything, big fight, and that was the game that Graham Souness put the flag in. Yeah, flag in it. Graham got in a fight, and I always found those instances, like, we were generally well protected by the police and the shields and stuff. I found it more exciting and exhilarating to be part of it, and then afterwards, like, think, like, kind of scary, pretty cool. Like, you have, like, it was like a great experience.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd prefer not to have a dart.
Nearly died, but good experience.
No, but like, I didn't look at it like that. But like, years later, I was thinking, wow, what if that hit me?
So, thinking about England fans, our reputation abroad, depending on who you speak to, is either quite good these days, or there is still a hangover from the dark days of hooliganism. How do Americans see the England fan base?
That's a great question. I think the Americans see the English fans as really good fans, positive fans, and generally over the years, our relationship between the two countries, just in general as people, has been very, very good. I would be shocked if we ever played against you in the U.S. if the fans were having fights in a clash. I'd be really, really surprised at that. English fans, for me, and the problems have been more cultural and what's happened in the past. So you go down into the south of France, and it's the French and the French-English fight, and you go into Ireland, and we obviously know the history there, and there were fights there, and like, that's how I see the English fans. English fans have always been brilliant with me, like, really have. Obviously, the opposing team's fans, not so much. The Villa,
Bag of feces.
Yeah, but that wasn't very nice, was it?
No.
I mean,
That's
really,
one-off.
really.
Also, he might not have had a toilet.
Well, that was
just his only way of getting rid of it.
Yeah, good point.
Positive.
Glass half.
Crazy. In this guy, it's like everything. It just can take a negative and turn that thing right around. But the fans here, like, I find them educated, highly educated in football. The American fans are not highly educated in football. So what I found, when you played well, even if they didn't like you, they'll applaud it. And if they don't applaud it, they're not gonna be negative towards you. If like the Liverpool fans are brilliant. I remember Alan Thompson scored a goal on me at Anfield. It was one of the best goals that ever been scored against me in the top bin, in the Cop end. They didn't have a go at me for conceding it. They applauded the strike. Like it that's how I find English fans. American fans don't fully understand the culture of football yet. They're learning, but it gets better each year. But it's completely different.
But do you think because the Premier League is the predominant way in for American football, soccer fans,
Yeah.
that then in a way it will be English football culture that they try and emulate?
They do, and the Premier League is far more popular in the U.S. than MLS is. That's for sure. And the marketing of the Premier League has been brilliant over the years, and then it turned again probably in about for the better in like 2011, 2012 with the new TV deal, and you can watch every game anytime on all the networks in the Premier League.
Oh, that's really
and the great thing about it is it's when you wake up, you're having your cup of coffee, and it comes on because of the time change. So you're having your cup of coffee, kids can still be asleep, and then all the games, and I can be watching them and have them on all the
by 9 a.m.
having all the screens on. And then my missus will walk in, what are you doing? And then the dance.
So do you think what we could see is the development of maybe a flourishing hooligan culture in America where young American men start wearing Stone Island and taking flares to games and that sort of thing? Would that be positive?
I mean, you asked that question like you wanted that to happen. Did you see it? It's like
He's trying to infiltrate.
Yeah. No, I don't. American fans in all sports, they're different. They're very quiet, and then they expect to be entertained. Whereas the fans in South America, Central America, Mexico, and Europe all go there to support their team and be a catalyst to help the team get a result. And they feel part of the club and part of the fabric and part of everything. Americans, you go to get the Cannon t-shirt, you get, that's launched up into the stands.
That is cool.
If the halftime show isn't good, you're upset. If it's a different thing. You'll have a small percentage of real diehard fans. And that's every sport. That's NFL, that's Major League Baseball. That's everything. And Americans will go in there and they'll cross their hand, they'll fold their arms, and they'll be like, I'm not being entertained. I think I should have my money back. Like that's American fans.
In a way, aren't they right? We are meant to be entertained.
I completely disagree.
I'm not saying I fully agree.
No, I don't think there's a right or wrong. It's a cultural thing. This is what we're talking, like the tradition and culture of football in England is that the fans feel part of their football club. The players, I heard Cody Gakpo's interview yesterday. It's their responsibility as players for a club like Liverpool to get them into the Champions League. That's their responsibility. He's right.
Yeah.
But the fans feel part of that and they can help, right? Sometimes fans get upset and they put a lot of pressure and they want firings and this, that, and the other, and maybe it's a little bit misguided. But it's also sometimes a little bit misguided because they don't have all the information. So they're wondering what's going on. So you understand the frustrations. But they feel from August until May or June that they're part of the football club, and they are. American fans, almost every single, 50% of all the teams can't make the playoffs halfway through the season. Yeah. And then it's just kind of like,
fizzles out.
And so it becomes an entertainment thing. Well, do you want to go to the game? We'll do a business deal. Do you want to go to the game? Then we'll have a birthday party. It becomes
like going to the theatre.
Yes.
Just an event to go to rather than being emotionally invested.
Correct.
You talk about halftime entertainment. We don't really have that in England, do we? We don't really have a halftime entertainment. My favourite bit of halftime entertainment was at a Cambridge United game, Grimsby, Cambridge, and you just saw four men trying to kick a football into a skip.
That's great.
No, and I remember that going, oh, this is good, but I'm just not sure how well that'll go down in America. Do you know what I mean? Actually.
See, I understand if you go to ice hockey, because I played a lot of ice hockey, and you need to, in between periods, you need to cut the ice and have the Zamboni out. So to make the play better. So that takes a little bit of time. So I actually understand getting the fans' attention onto something. Yeah. So ice shot and stuff like that while the Zamboni's going around, because it has to happen. But in football, it is 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you've got to drink 3 pints.
It's a-
3 pints.
yeah,
And a pie.
It's a 15-minute break. I mean, you can go get something quick or go to the restroom. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you have time for, and then it starts again. But if you turn on an MLS game, LA's the worst for it because it's just the LA culture. Watch the first half, see what time the fans trickle in, and when the stadium looks full, because LAFC and LA Galaxy get good crowds.
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes in, fills up. Then another 10 to 15 minutes after halftime, they're still not back at their seat because they're all up on the terraces having the drinks, talking, and they have at LAFC, I believe it's still there. I think they have a swimming pool up on the top of, or a jacuzzi or swimming pool or something like that. It's one of those, and I don't know if it's still there. I mean, I've never seen it. I just saw the renderings and the picture of it because when I was there, I was coaching, so I was down on the pitch. But it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why is there a swimming pool at the stadium?
But equally, why not? I mean, why didn't Spurs think of that? Like the whole of the roof could have been a kind of whirlpool.
They have everything else in that stadium.
Watch it as you rotate in water.
Except a swimming pool.
That's lovely. At Grimsby, we can just see the ships.
I played at Grimsby.
Oh, it's a great stadium, isn't it?
I played. Your fans are good.
The fans are good. I love it. It's a great stadium, isn't it? The fans are good.
No, the fans were good.
The fans are great.
I mean,
No bags of feces.
I mean, no. But good support.
Great support.
I was there. I played, I think, Blackburn.
Yeah, you would have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but the thing about Grimsby is if the football isn't great, you can just literally watch the ships go across the River Humber from the upper Finders stand.
Look at you.
Yeah, I know.
Pulling out another positive moment. Boring football. Let's watch the ships.
Watch the ships. So
Welcome to
apart from the
Grimsby.
teams you played for, who do you think has the best fans?
Best fan rivalry, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, and I would probably put Celtic Rangers. I've been to a couple old firm games. I'd probably put those. Mexican and Costa Rican fans are good. Really? They're intimidating. Costa Rican fans are intimidating.
In what way?
They're violent and they're intimidating and they support their team and they throw a lot of things at you, bags of urine, spit on you, they make it really, really difficult to deal with the elements. Man. And they take you to a stadium called Saprissa, and as a goalkeeper, there's not much space behind the goal. They have like chicken wire fence, and they throw stuff again, and it splatters on you.
Prison rules.
Correct.
Man.
Yeah, those are intimidating places. See, in England, there aren't any intimidating places.
Forest?
There's
Bit of an edge?
Leeds, bit of an edge.
Yeah.
I think
Forest, maybe a bit? No? These days, though?
I mean, I think, no.
But the history is intimidating.
I think your owner has an edge.
I think he has a few edges.
But I'm not so sure the fans. No, Newcastle has a brilliant atmosphere. They always.
Just the sound of it.
Yeah, and they're. I mean, that town, that city lives for football.
Yeah,
and they're very good, and that's actually one of the grounds that when they're not behind the team, they're a negative influence for their team.
Yeah,
yeah. You can
the 12th man for the other team.
You can turn Man United fans as well.
Really?
Yeah.
So thinking about the World Cup, how do you think it will go for the American fans? Do you think this could be like a turning point in the fan culture?
I think so. 94 was an eye opener for the American fans. I think when they see how vibrant and good the Dutch fans are, the Colombian fans are, the English fans coming in, the Scottish fans. I mean, Scottish fans will be up in Boston. I think England have a game up in Boston. There's a lot of cultural connections up in
there.
Yeah,
Ireland.
Yeah. And so I think it'll be another step in the right direction for the American fans. American football is behind, and we're still catching up, and we're doing great things and bigger things and better things every single year. And the fan, I call it education, is another step, and it's all the other cultures. The biggest thing I think the American fans come away with is it means so much to these fans from the other country.
Yeah.
And Americans are not built like that. They have their own lives and they go for entertainment purposes. And then once they leave, it's over. Like, and if you go to a game with England and England lose, like, you're like, oh, I can't believe it. Don't talk to me. Don't, it's a thing for days.
You've been really good at putting some of this in like a societal context, particularly with, the history of rivalries and how things play out. So with American fans and their connection with either their club or their country then, is it just that they don't have, that their sporting clubs aren't an extension of their personal identity in the same way that they are in the UK?
There's only a handful of clubs in the United States where there's an identity. So Boston's a massive sporting town. So like if you go back to Boston Bruins and like Bobby Orr, there'll be some ice hockey fans that associate their life with the Bruins. Babe Ruth and the Boston Red Sox, and Boston Red Sox there'll be some people in Boston that's how they run their life. New York Yankees will have some heritage like that. LA Dodgers a little bit, and that's mainly maybe Detroit Red Wings in NHL in Detroit. That's kind of where it ends. It is an entertainment industry. It's an entertainment country. Look, just take it even to like the restaurants in America. If you don't get big, you're gonna argue. If you're like, I don't have enough food here. I don't want to pay for it. It's like, this isn't good. You go to a movie, you don't like the film. Well, can I have my money back? Like that's the mentality of the American.
But is it also that you get your identity from other places?
Correct. In your school, in your community, in your town, you're brought up to finish high school, you're brought up to go to college, you're brought up that you can, if you want, open up your own business. You're brought up, if you want, you can move states. If you want, you can go here. If you want, you can travel abroad. If you want, your life does not have to revolve around, I was from Cleveland, Ohio, so my life didn't have to revolve around the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Cleveland Indians that they were called when I was growing up, and the Cleveland Browns. Did I support them? Yeah, of course, but it wasn't my lifeblood.
Just thinking about the effect that fans can have on players then, did you ever see, did any colleagues of yours, any teammates get particularly affected by
Yeah, and where fans, you guys made a comment earlier, and this is actually more of a serious issue, where I think you made the comment that you can't really affect the players and the outcome except in the stadium. I didn't have to deal with it very much at all because social media came into it later. Social media destroys players now. I find no positives to it other than some of the players' bank accounts because they have big followings, and you get some sponsor revenue from it. You're never going to win every game. You're never not going to make a mistake. You could play brilliant for 15 games on the bounce. You make one mistake and thousands of people wanting you to do all sorts of things to yourself. Fans should understand what that does to a player. Now, I understand that players also have a responsibility to be professionals and do their part as well, but they're not going to win every game. They're not going to play brilliant every single game. And the social media is a huge effect off the pitch for the players. My suggestion, don't have it, but that's not a reality.
But it's twofold as well, isn't it? It affects the individual, but it also affects institutions, that clubs see fans saying a particular thing, and it will affect how long a manager can stay in a job.
Correct. And I think as well, so if you take your club, for instance, I think that there's a lot of influences, whether it's from agents, whether it's from players, whether it's from social media, and then I think your owner reacts. And when you have owners that aren't, just sort of take the wins and the losses and know that they're building the trajectory of the club, and it's a long-term play and it's a long-term plan. If you have the owners that come from parts of the world that are very much now, today, and very emotional, the clubs can go into this just chaotic, cyclical whirlwind of what is happening.
Yeah. Good fun though, isn't it?
I mean, it can be. I don't think it's great fun for the players. I got to say, to have a new manager every 33 days come through the door.
No, do you think fans realise how powerful they are?
Well, in some countries, yeah.
I think individually they don't, but I think then cumulatively, it's like, oh, there's so much noise, there's so much heat, and I think every single fan, like back in the day before social media, if you weren't happy with a player, you'd talk about it in the pub later on, or talk about your mate, and that was it. Whereas now, you're vehemently scorning them, abusing them, and I think actually individually you can take a little bit of it, but when it's collectively going, oh, actually, I do feel the weight of that, and it's not nice.
Think about this. So if I made a mistake in a game, let's say I was at Blackburn and I had a great relationships with the fans, and somebody met me in my car and said, what happened? We could have a word. So that was like a personal interaction. And if you made that mistake, don't read the newspapers the next day. So that's just Sunday. And then on Monday, I forget, there was like the Sun of the News of the World. One of them came out on Sunday and Monday, and that was the one that really had to go at you if you didn't do well. So you don't read the paper on the Monday. Then it's done. It's done. From Tuesday, you only deal with it in the training ground with your teammates. Done. Now, you go to a game that take one of a very, very, very talented goalkeeper, David Raya, and they concede the goal against Wolves. And he's one of the top 2 or 3 goalkeepers in the Premier League right now. Yeah. And within a second, how many billion people know that he made the mistake because everyone's got the phone and it's on a video and it goes out. And then by the time he gets to the changing room, the message is that it's like a different element of mental strength that you had to deal with that I never had to, which I'm thankful for.
Yeah.
On that note, do follow us on Instagram at How to Win the World Cup. Leave us some nice messages, will you? And you can email us as well, wintheworldcup@talksport.co.uk. Share your stories of travelling to previous World Cups. Did you ride the bullet train in Japan in 2002? Did you overlook human rights abuses but marvel at the facilities at Qatar 2022? Brad, Lloyd, always a pleasure. We'll see you next week.